let's do this. Hello, this is the GoW Podcast, number 3. Today we have me, Bazik, DrKillsauce, Saykoya, TimeKey, Red Gem, SneakyDragon, MasterofMath. Lots of people, lots to talk about. We're gonna go over tiebreakers and the top 16, and then we'll go and talk about Commander Balance. That will be fun and probably way too long. Let's hope so.
And we're going to be doing our best to not be talking for 4 hours, but maybe we will. Who
we
knows?
probably will. We'll see.
Wild cards.
So, Killsauce, introduce yourself.
Oh, well, that's me. I'm Killsauce. I'm the only one in this chat that's has the face mask on because I'm responsible.
And you own all the maps.
One at a time, right?
Yes, I also own all the maps. Apparently, that's a meme.
Master of Math, you talked, so introduce yourself.
I'm Master of Math. I play in GoW and I make guides. Hi.
Okay, Red Gems.
Okay, hi. I'm the last GoW champion, and I kind of make content, kinda.
Okay, Saykoya.
Yeah, I also kind of made content, but then I just stopped because there was GoW 4, and then I'm not sure if I'm gonna get back into it. So there's that. Although it's not PvP content anyways, so whatever.
Okay, SneakyDragon.
Forgot to.
Hey, SneakyDragon here. I make a lot of beginner tutorial videos, commentated videos, some how to get into competitive videos. I make a crap ton of content, I guess.
Nice.
That's about it.
TimeKey.
I'm TimeKey. I'm the resident overextender in the community. I also write some guides. In fact, I wrote the 1.3 top 5 commander guides. And I even wrote why we don't play on the default maps.
Okay, sounds great.
He's also like a TimeKey forgets that he's also like a robot that just replies to all the things in the official Discord. Like whenever somebody has a question, he just has all the links and copy and paste already. So you'll see him a lot if you're in the official or in the GoW Discord. And you'll likely kill him too, because he'll overextend at some point in one of your games.
Yep.
Nice. By the way, every time you hear us talking about pulling a TimeKey, this is the actual TimeKey.
Yeah, it's okay.
For everyone that doesn't know. Okay, let's just go into it. Tiebreakers. Let's start with Alsame Data Gloves. Opinions. What did you guys think about it?
Well, nothing much to say, It was sort of a stomp, like from opening to finish. So, yeah.
It went the way we expected.
I think the most surprising thing. The most surprising thing was Osame didn't even use LED Groove the entire game. Like he had it, but he didn't even use it.
I mean, that is the proper way to play LED.
Yeah.
We'll get back to that, I guess.
Yeah, we will.
So who actually got their predictions right? I know I didn't get it right.
I got all my predictions right.
Like the 4 people that would go through, that I think that prediction was like I think almost everyone other than Killsauce said that Data Gloves was not getting out of that group. So that part I think everyone got right. The only game that I didn't expect to go the way it did was Sedge versus Vito. And when I say it didn't go as I expected, I mean the last turn of the match didn't go as I expected. Because I think Vito was behind most of that game, if not all of it.
Yeah.
And Sedge just went in and just died.
Well, no, Vito had a much better position early on, but then he played too passive. He was seeing ghosts, and he kind of spoiled it. But like I predicted it. I said that Vito will lose because he's probably going to choose Elodie, but he didn't choose Elodie, so and he won. So
well, because
I predicted this.
Because Sed actually banned Emmerich, so I was very surprised when Vito didn't pick Emmerich. Because I played Vito's Emmerich on Oblivion, and what he does is after he whacks the village, he just plops a crystal right in the center.
Mm,
Yeah, but
And
playing Emmerich is probably a good way to lose. Also,
yeah.
Well,
We'll
yeah.
get
Oh, I'm
there,
sure-
we'll get
I'm
there
sure
when
we'll
we get
talk,
to
yeah.
balance. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But this,
I just want to say this that that's probably the only match that I actually should watch back. But if I recall correctly, it was basically Vito donating units most of the game.
yeah, he tried to push on the western side because what he did was that he annoyed Sedge by uncapping his village, and he forced Sedge to put some units to try to reclaim the village. But it basically fell apart when he started giving units to Sedge on the west side.
Yeah.
it
also
wasn't
was,
like the whole game, but like on the left side, he gave away a few units, and then in general, he was a bit too tentative and a bit too passive.
Yeah.
Until but so that gave him a lot of problems.
Yeah.
He also was protecting his commander too much when it was safe. So like the units he was using to protect were kind of free.
Yeah. But on the one hand, Vito did very, very well to mitigate Sedge groove because he kept on putting his golem in Sedge's face, and Sedge doesn't really like hitting golems.
I would say Sedge definitely need, and I talked about it on stream when it happened. I definitely think Sedge needs to add golems into his repertoire, if I can say it that way. Because
Yeah.
right now he's not making any golems. Like he didn't make a single golem, and that's a problem.
He had big problems that game because he wasn't building golems. Like the whole start of it, he was having big issues. Like the early game and early mid game, because he was trying to fight golems without golems. But then Vito didn't play it that well, so he gave Sedge some room to get back into the game.
Yeah, but Sedge definitely needed a golem when Vito started putting out a second one. But he did build a dragon. But I don't know if that dragon really did much.
Yeah, Sedge as a commander really loves the fast attacking units, the cheap units. I think like a
Because-
dragon is more Sedge than Golem is, but I agree he kind of needs to build one if you're just facing down an army of them.
But is it really? Because like golem lets you kind of go more to late game than like a dragon.
Yeah,
Dragon
Yeah,
kind
'cause-
of loses its effectiveness.
I
Because
agree.
Doesn't
dragon,
really-
dragon can't even one-shot a golem. Like, if a golem is on favorable terrain, the dragon actually has to think twice before attacking into it. Because if there's a golem, there's always a mage nearby.
I think the meta just has moved on, right? I think right now what we're seeing is after mid game, as soon as you can start affording golems, you need them. Because if the other guy starts any kind of golem spam, so if he doesn't just make one, you then need your own golems to react to. And that's what
Yeah,
we've been seeing a lot in this game,
Yeah,
right?
that's a bit more map dependent.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
map dependent.
It's
It
part of
depends on
it
your
is
income.
more- It's the like better I think skill, but also like it's pretty map dependent. Like a lot of the maps in this pool, they have like a lot of flagstone to hinder air, and they have like very very heavy terrain, like a lot of forests, a lot of mountains. So that kind of favors golems. Like, and the bigger the map, the better dragons are because they have suddenly more range to attack stuff. And we've seen more maps where you can kind of focus on a few areas, and golems kind of shut down individual areas, while dragons kind of need to have lots of targets.
Yeah,
Also, you have to remember-
when I say meta, I speak specifically about the maps we're currently playing in Groove of War 4. That's
Well,
what
we
I
haven't seen
consider the
our-
meta, right? Like, obviously you
We
can
haven't
make
seen
maps that are bad for golems, but those aren't the maps we're using, right?
I wouldn't really go golems on rustic, for example. It's a good way to close out the game, but that's when you're already winning.
You think
Yeah, very
Shu was
much.
playing game properly then? Because he was going heavy into golems on rustic.
Yeah, but
Well, 'cause
he
he
was
was-
already winning.
Yeah, I think he was doing Pike Balloon on that game.
But that's the whole
think-
point. I think if you're winning, making golems just gets you even more ahead. Because the other guy can't build them because he's behind.
Yeah, but you don't need the golems. Like you could also do knights, you could also do dragons.
It's not a question of needing, it's a question of
just an
crushing
op-
your
it's
opponents.
just an option.
I
I
mean,
think the other thing,
Go ahead.
Basically,
no, it's just
like,
we're talking about unit balance right now, and I think we should focus more on the actual game.
match. Yeah, the match. Yeah, but yeah, because like Sedge didn't have any golems, he basically kept on staring at Vito's golem the entire game. And the thing with golem is that they're very, very difficult to get under 35 for Sedge to groove. So that's why he just kept on staring at them. If he had his own golem, he could probably bring it to Sedge Groove range.
I
Well,
think
his main
plan
problem
was
is he just kind of, when he started grooving, he wasn't really thinking that much ahead, and then
Oh yeah.
he blocked his escape route, and then he kind of realized he was screwed and put himself on a mountain, but it didn't really matter at that point. He
Yeah,
kind of
'cause-
just
Yeah.
pushed himself into death.
Yeah, he got way too greedy near the end
I-
because he pushed into 2 golems backed up by a Ragnar Groove.
I also don't think that it was as much as Vito stopping Sedge from grooving as it was the amount of time Sedge actually had groove. Because he had groove for what, 3 or 4 turns at most? And
Yeah, he didn't have groove for long.
Yeah, it wasn't like he was holding off Sedge groove for a long time. Sedge just,
Yeah.
as soon as he got an opportunity, he went in, and he shouldn't. Like, he just went in too strong, and he just paid for it. And in this game, if your commander dies, you just lose. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I know
like-
it.
Realistically,
Yeah.
the turning point is when he went for that mage. That's like the last thing he did, but he didn't have to go for that mage. Like, yeah, Ragnar was sitting on groove, but Sedge had honestly a much better position. I think the income was slightly in his favor too, and yeah, Ragnar had some chance to groove and hurt all of his units, but I still think that Sedge had the superior position, and if he had just played it safe, he would have been fine.
he had
Yeah,
better
Sachan had
economy.
a crushing
he
position.
he was getting like very good income because like the dragon picked off a few villages and the west was basically under his control.
But I think because what happened was that Sedge was also losing on time. He was on, I think, at the turning point, he was on 9 minutes, and Vito was on 15 minutes on the timer. So
I mean, that definitely could have played into factor. I wasn't keeping track of that, so I
Yeah, but
think that's a reasonable statement.
it was too soon to say that the timer would have any impact. There was too much
Yeah.
game in the clock.
A lot of time left and a lot of game left to play.
yeah, definitely. But maybe he just panicked when he's on 9 minutes, and he just started thinking I have to move
I
things
doubt
because I don't
it.
have time to.
I-
Yeah,
yeah.
but no.
Like Sejun has done this quite a few times in the past. And to be fair, it's something at least I see quite a bit out of Sedge play, which is people just
Oh.
get gung ho because they can get a free groove, and they always think they can go back, and they don't calculate properly, and then they die for no reason.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and also I want to elaborate. There was one turn where Vito took a really long time on that, and I forget which turn it was, but Vito DM'd me. He told me, "Oh, that turn took really long because I was calculating if I can get a lethal, and then I found out I couldn't, so I didn't go for it."
Yeah,
I don't remember what. Yeah, but I don't remember what turn that was though.
Okay,
Well-
let's go. Shua will be an inch. No.
hang on,
Forget it, forget it.
DrKillsauce
No,
versus
we
Saykoya.
have other tiebreakers.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
getting
DrKillsauce versus
ahead
Saykoya.
of myself. Yeah.
One last thing I want to say about Sedge Vito is that like Sedge went for an opening in which he could get groove during the opening, but like he still got groove like about at the same time as Vito did, where Vito basically had a very passive CO opening path, but he basically got to the center first, so his activity got him groove.
Yeah,
I
because
think
he got to
Vito
the
actually
center.
got more groove.
That is
he just
definitely-
gave
it's
Sedge
definitely
free
worth saying,
groove
yeah.
later.
Yeah,
Sedge's
Vito got
opening
this-
was bad.
Vito got to the center and he basically whacked a village. He basically whacked a village almost for free. But then because like he whacked the village up north and he can only get hit twice because of the mountain up north and all that.
Yeah.
Well, I think most of us were all pretty much in agreement here that most of us probably agree that Sejun should have won the game, but
Yeah,
he
it was a-
overextended and lost, and that's what it happens. And honestly, it was a really good game up. Even at the end, I consider that a good ending of the game.
Overall, I think it was more or less what we were expecting, right? So the game started. Basically, Vito made mistakes here and there, lost a few units because of it, and then eventually Sedge got to groove and he overextended and died. I think that's Sedge's opening was also pretty crappy, and I think that's
Oh, so you admit it now.
All right. Let's go to the next one here. Data Gloves versus Sejun.
Oh, this game. I remember this one.
This was the game where Data Gloves just started whacking the gate on Iranian Labyrinth, right?
Yeah, he got less groove than the other player.
Yeah. Because for those who don't know, if you kill something, you literally build you literally build your groove 3 times as fast than if you're just whacking a gate. If you're killing things.
Well, if you're hitting stuff, you gain 30 points, and if you're killing stuff, you gain 50.
Yeah. So it's like 3 to 5. Well, okay, so it's like 5 times faster.
And like I understand Data Glove's strategy on it because it's not inherently a bad concept. It's just that in practice trying to like slow down your commander, keeping him in the back, hitting a gate for groove, it doesn't work on slow commanders. It's unless your groove will win you the game the moment you get it. It's just really not going to change the outcome of the game, because without your commander being at the front line, the enemy commander will proceed to just run over your front line now that your commander's not there.
I think it kind of doesn't work on any commanders, because basically you're saying, for the first several turns, I'm going to play without my golem and allow my opponent to play with his golem. And that's just a mountain too high to climb, right? Because the other guy has a massive advantage in terms of power in the middle of the map.
I think there's an argument that it could be said with you could take the strategy depending on the map and play it with Valder. Like that's what happened in Hinterland Hijinks way back in the day. But yeah, realistically, it just doesn't work. You just can't defend that opponent's pressure.
Yeah, you can't keep your best unit out of the front lines nowadays.
Yeah.
But like I think his Data Gloves is banking on Tenri Treb winning him the game, and it just didn't win him the game because he never got
like the winning plan was to get the Treb going to HQ, but he never set that plan in motion.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he couldn't, because on the other hand, so the idea was get the Treb to the HQ, but Sedge in that game just completely ran over the north side and made it so Data Gloves had to defend on the north side with like all of his money, so he didn't have enough forces on the bottom side to actually support Henry and the Treb to get there.
Yeah.
Well, really, the problem was on the bottom. He mismanaged a lot of his units, so he could have actually gotten somewhat threatening a position, because like Treb can attack HQ from a fairly safe spot on that map. So if he would have at least preserved some units, he would have some winning chances. But then he just kind of threw them away and threw away the game at the same time.
Yeah, but I think like the turning point was really when Sedge made him waste his groove on his dragon.
I don't think there was a turning point. I think Sedge was always ahead.
Yeah, he was always ahead, but that was really the point where there was almost no doubt Sedge was just going to run over Data Gloves.
That was when it was over.
I mean, he didn't even force the groove on the dragon. He just kind of left the dragon in range, and it happened.
And then we had like 10 minutes of memeing after.
Oh my god, that end game. Yeah. But if anything, that game just shows you how bad Trebs are. Like, the Treb literally just controls space, and you can't put anything near it. And that's probably why the game lasted so long, because...
Well, not really.
He could have
won whenever.
The Treb kill at one point. And that's not just it. Like, we cannot forget that the way maps are made right now, create this really choky positions where if you do make the Treb, sure, it's in a really bad position, but you can't ever attack that position, because the Treb will usually be behind forests, mountains, like it will be behind super hard terrain to move, and basically, sure, they're super hard to hit and they're super defended, but they're usually in really bad spots, right?
Yeah, like the Treb that Data Gloves had wasn't doing anything. Like if Sedge wanted to, he could just kill HQ, and the Treb doesn't say anything about it.
But I think Sedge was just respecting Tenri Treb a bit too much in this instance. Because Tenri can just go, oh, I groove and I put my Treb where you are and I nuke something, and then if you stay where the Treb is, I keep on nuking something every single turn.
Yeah, but because he didn't have enough, even if he grew
Yep.
Treb, the Treb would kill something and die the next turn, which would make it worthless.
Yeah. But that's what I
think
meant
he's
by
just- Sorry, continue.
that's what I meant by saying that Sedge over respect the Tenri Treb too much, and that you have to respect the fact that Tenri can plop a Treb in your face any moment. But can she follow through with that next turn? Not really. And yeah, Gimbal is saying just what we just said, that the missed Treb kill is what made the game last so long.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, talking about one-sided games, Shu v I will be an inch. That was our first.
I think we still
playoff.
have one more tiebreaker.
No,
No, that was the last one.
Were the two losers.
Yeah.
We just went over Alsame versus Data Gloves in like 1 minute.
Yeah, but
We just said like Alsame
Yeah, there was-
crushed, and that was it.
yeah, there wasn't really much to say about that game, honestly. And I don't even remember much of it other than Sama used LED.
I'm gonna do the sneaky thing this week, and just say we're not talking bad about Data Gloves as a person or whatever. We're just talking about the skill level that was employed during the games. So no one should take it personally.
Of course, yeah, we still give credit to Data Gloves. He did actually win his matches. He didn't get there purely through disqualification. So
He got to the
He got-
tiebreakers to the playoffs. That's really impressive.
yeah,
Yeah, and he
especially
beat
as,
R. Alexander and he beat Ash. So
yeah. So
Yep.
we're by no means it's we downplaying him. It just
He just faced one of the best players in the game right now on that match, so there's not a lot to say, right?
yeah, it takes time to build experience, to get better, and to get to
Yeah.
that level.
So let's move to the actual playoff match. Shuvia will be an inch.
now I will say this. It's almost like a victim of circumstance. I will be an inch. Is that I will be an ninja got into this tiebreaker because he got two disqualifications against him. So he got into a really high rankings. Oh,
He actually got third, so he
Okay.
it was circumstance because Shu got second and not first.
Yeah.
like he technically should have.
It's more
So-
Shu losing to you, Killsauce, than actually I will be an inch.
Like you play better and you get not rewarded, or like you place higher and you get punished for it. Kind of like me and how I'm gonna have to play Loveless instead of TFJ. Yeah, by advance.
Whoa.
Shots fired.
Shots fired there.
Yikes.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but
Yeah.
Yikes.
You get the opportunity to eliminate Loveless.
yeah. But you, I'll be
the
into
opportunity to eliminate.
Let's
everyone.
not jump off the Shu via will be an inch before we're done.
Yeah. But
I,
Alvin
but
almost
I
had
would be
it.
an
I want to
Yeah,
talk about
right.
the fact that Shu once again gave a lethal opportunity when he didn't need to, and I will be an inch almost took the first game.
Yeah, it was a coin. Yeah, I forget who calculated it, but they found out it was a coin. I think it was CMA,
Yeah.
and he found out it was actually a coin flip.
Yeah.
And it wasn't
we
super
didn't
hard to
we
find
didn't
coin
do
flip, by the way.
We didn't do the full calc. He only calculated from the moment the archer was hitting. So I'm not sure if he high or low rolled before that.
Oh.
Yeah, but she was on Discord when he's saying that, and he was lucky he sacked his mage, because if he didn't put that mage there, it was guaranteed lethal.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
without a doubt, he was dead if he didn't put the mage there. I think we went through the math on screen. That would have been an extra 10 damage or something.
He was completely dead without that mage.
But like again, we have the dangers of playing too fast. Like Sejhan lost because he played a bit too fast. He didn't fully calculate it all. And here, Shu totally winning, but he plays a bit too fast, gets a bit careless, and almost loses the game to a coin flip.
And I think Shu
Yeah.
is more egregious, right? Because Shu had like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But-
versus 12.
But yeah, and Shu's just very well known in the Discord for saying, "Oh, I no one can beat me if it comes to timeouts because I just time everyone out."
I don't think Shu has timed anyone out thus far.
But like, if Delascore beats Zested, I think we can bet on that match being having at least one timeout. Delascore
yeah.
versus Shu. Without Delascore goes to the last minute every game.
I mean, but if he wins, right?
I mean, he didn't time out other people so far because he was winning before that. Or losing.
But I think Alvin also was unfortunate about Shu because Shu is one of the most experienced players in the Groove of War, so he knows how to deal with Treb. He knows what to do when he's staring down a Treb. If I Will Be a Ninja was fighting someone who was less experienced, he probably would have won because his Treb would just kill everything every single turn.
Yeah, I Will Be a Ninja didn't play bad at all. He played pretty well, and that's how he got the opportunity to win the game. But you have to play it on a different level to beat Shu. So
Yeah,
and I wasn't there.
but we just saw Shu every single time I Will Be a Ninja trying to get him to fight near his Treb. Shu just went, nope, no thanks. I'm not gonna fight near your Treb.
It's also worth saying for people who didn't watch the match that sure, he had an opportunity to win, but that opportunity was created by completely sacrificing any control over the map. Basically, without that opportunity, the game was very, very lost on all fronts.
Yeah,
So
true.
it wasn't like it was a great play that I Will Be an Inch was making. It was more that I Will Be an Inch was completely pushed back against the wall, and he almost was able to create an opportunity out of nothing, and that's why it's so impressive. And we're talking about, I think,
I guess it's
What
also
was it?
relevant best of 3. So like that game wouldn't decide the set. Like there's still 2 other games that will probably be played.
True.
And like you get 1 gift from Shu, but how likely is it that you get 2 from him?
Yeah, because we saw after that Shu didn't take any chances after that.
that is true, but that is something that I've seen in the past, and I didn't go into it during the stream because I actually didn't think it would happen. But one of the things that's important is if Shu was playing against a better opponent, an opponent that was near his level, Shu went way too defensive then, and that's the kind of play that then leads to being exploited. So I don't think Shu reacted super well to it. Like, I think he should have just slowed down a bit, and he went super defensive after it. Sure, he had a massive advantage, but he didn't need to play like that.
I didn't see a problem with Shu's play. I think he played well, except for that moment.
Oh, of course he played well. I'm saying he was over defensive after that.
I don't think he was over defensive. That's the kind of my point.
Something to
His
note.
commander to win. So
His commander stopped playing the
having
game.
your commander hang back isn't bad if you don't need it anyways.
Keep in mind that in the first game, I Will Be Ninja made a decision to give up the north front to create a big trap formation that Shu did not respect, pushed into, and almost died. In the second game, Shu figured that I Will Be a Ninja will make the exact same move, and so just pike spammed on top, focused on the bottom, slow played it. He played the entire game assuming I Will Be a Ninja would do the exact same thing, and they did. I think it's a good point that the second game happened so smoothly because Shu saw some inexperienced moves in the first game that he could take advantage of and knew it would happen again. It's like if you're playing a game of tennis and you see someone can't handle one particular shot. Game 2, just give them nothing but that shot.
I don't know if you could say that it was like a trap formation. Shu I think he missed the night crit or something like that, or he missed something. Like I think it was the night crit because he always misses the night crit.
Shu was over aggressive. That was completely.
It wasn't.
There
It
was
wasn't
no
that
reason.
he overextended and he almost lost.
He
It was more like
overextended.
he missed.
No, he overextended. He just moved his commander
It
into the
was
forest
more like
in the middle
he
of
just
nowhere.
moved his commander forward for
Yeah,
no
yeah,
reason.
in the middle of
That's what
nowhere.
happened.
He was just pushing his weight around, basically. He noticed that
He knows after he moved.
He was playing with his stuff too together, and he thought he could move his commander freely into the forest, and he couldn't.
I think it was
And
just the night crit because I guess like that's what he realized after that he didn't see at first,
yeah, but
and that's why.
he doesn't need to move his commander alone to the front like that.
Keep in mind, though, it wasn't just the Knights. I Will Be a Ninja moved their entire north front down to that forest area. When someone
Yeah.
does that on Rustic, you can't push into that. If Emmerich, we were talking about this, if Emmerich was just one more square south, that would have been definitive lethal because all those mages would have been critting.
Oh yeah, that was actually super lucky. Yeah. He was like one
yeah.
square off of
Oh,
the
yeah.
Emmerich.
Speaking of Emmerich, I think he was at one point on Discord was like, "Oh damn, my pikes," because he was afraid of Emmerich plopping his crystal near his pikes up north and then having the mages just kill both of them. Which is something that Emmerich could have done, but I think it might. I'll be a ninja. Either he didn't see it, or he just didn't think it was worth going for.
That's
Well,
also
I do
a very
think-
1.3 play, right? I don't know if I Will Be a Ninja was a player back then.
I don't think
No.
so. I think after that game, he was like looking. He was surprised to see there was a damage calculator and stuff. So, I think there was like a huge experience disparity here, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially considering.
Yeah, sorry. Even after he lost, though, he seemed pretty humble about it and looked like he wanted to learn more. So, of course, I'd be concerned, about him in the future. He can come around and people can surprise.
I'm
Yeah,
happy
there's a lot of
about it.
players like that. We have to keep an eye on for the future, and it could surprise us even more.
Yeah.
Well, because losing is how you learn the most about your plays.
I think the most impressive thing about I Will Be a Ninja, and we haven't talked about this at all yet, is their formations. When Shu had a huge lead against them at the end of both games, INB Ninja pulled off these crazy formations
Oh my God, he did
that
it.
were so hard to attack into.
He actually took a lot of good value off of Shu in quite a few times during those games, and that was actually quite impressive because Shu was actually forced to pull back quite a few times.
I mean, the thing is, like, he basically gave up like 2 fronts to have a good formation in the middle. So
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely,
like, of
it's not
course
good
you can't
strategy and
really
not
push
good to
into that.
replicate. Yeah. That's not
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
It's like I said before. If I would be Ninja playing someone who's less experienced, it would have been a shutout. But since he was fighting Shu, it was just a bad matchup.
All right. Well, I think that's probably enough to talk about that. The second, I made the only other thing that might be worth mentioning about the set is Shu and his confidence after the coin flip, because this is the first game where we actually had the coin flip and map bans. So I believe I Will Be Ninja banned Before the Flood and
I have it all.
Labyrinth.
I have
Yeah,
it
I think
all.
both times.
But
But Shu was going in pretty much saying that Shu has maps that he thinks he can beat anybody on, and one of them is Player 1 Rustic. Or positions in
Player
maps. So.
1. Why do you want to be player 1 on Rustic?
Isn't that what he played? Or was that Player 2? I wasn't.
He was player
Player-
1, but I don't see why you want to play player 1.
I don't know either. That's just something he's been saying that he
Okay.
Yeah, he's been
says,
player
oh,
one
if I
both
lose the
games.
coin toss, I'll just play... Or if he gets to choose the map, he says, I'll just play Rustic or one other map as Player 1.
yeah, the bans were Auranian
Oh,
Labyrinth.
so you
and
mean
Before
if
the
he
Flood.
loses the coin flip, he's fine to play player 1? Yeah, there's not a big difference. Like you're not faring too badly as player 1 on Rustic.
You get-
Well, I think
Sure.
that's just something worth mentioning, is because he said it more than once. He's said it a few times about how he's very confident about that map, and I don't remember his other one. I'd have to look up his chat, but
Well, yeah, it's hard to lose in the opening on Rustic. So
Yeah, you can't-
there's a lot of leeway.
Yeah.
And Shu likes to play autopilot. He likes to play fast. He likes to play Koji because it's autopilot. And like you said, then he's like, if you ban Koji, he'll just go Ragna as the next best autopilot.
Yeah.
so I think that probably is something to consider, I guess, and maybe it's a specific strategy to go against Shu with, is that these early easy opener maps, he will outspeed you because he's a monster at playing fast. So maybe you have to choose a map against this guy in particular. Choose a map that is less simple in the opening.
Yeah, you
But
can
even
pick a
then,
map that
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't try to pick Rustic against him because like there's always the threat of like timeout, and you kind of want to maybe create a bit of complications for him to mess up in and miss a night crit. So you want to maybe pick a Cloak and Dagger, which is a bit more dynamic, an Iranian, etc.
Gilgamesh? Yeah, we haven't seen Gilgamesh pop up in a
Oh.
while. That's
Yeah,
been so long
Gilgamesh
ago.
also, like maybe you do some Valor strategy, put him under pressure.
Yeah, maybe he leaves open a night crit and then you get him. It's possible. At someone, yep, at me. So anyways, I think that's probably enough for that. That match. I think what we want to talk about the next rounds, the next tiebreakers,
let me just add one thing, and that is one of the things that should not be forgotten is this is what we expect from now on, right? Either really good players playing against each other, or the players that got here with good results that overperformed will be facing really, really hard opponents where they will need to step up their game if they want to keep moving forward. Which is a good thing, because from now on we expect to see good strategies and seeing them employed properly, and little mistakes will be heavily punished.
All right. So, do we have it up for the next rounds, the regionals? Because that's what we want to go into, right? Do like sort of a quick overview of how we think those will go.
Well, we had Burke versus TFJ, but Mr. Mercenary was busy or whatever, and so it's a free win for TFJ. So he's already in top 8. So congrats to TFJ.
Oh yeah, Burke dropped out of the event.
Yeah,
Or Burke Scenary.
I'll still I'll play TFJ to so that he has a game in best of 3 format, at least.
Yeah,
Because
so there'll be a show
I
match
know
to
him
make up for that one, is
Yeah.
what Saykoya's saying.
I hope he practices more than that, though.
So then the other
Yeah.
AWST top 16 is our own SneakyDragon here versus Loveless. Surely one to watch.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Loveless is a very tough opponent.
Like past 3 TYMs, I've either just beaten Loveless outright or we've ended up tying on the score, but that's async. I do not think I stand a chance on the clock, but I'm gonna put on a good show.
Yeah.
You
I
can
don't
take
know,
him.
Loveless
Believe in
makes a lot
yourself.
of
You can take
mistakes.
him.
Like,
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
talk
it's-
about Shu making mistakes, but Loveless makes a lot more like silly errors, totally winning, and then just gives you a free commander.
Yeah.
Like for no reason.
He just does it less than I do. That's the thing.
Like it's just the clock. I still panic on the clock. Like
Yeah.
give me a good async match, I'd be like, all right, I got this. I'd even feel
I
good
know.
about it.
I know
Like,
how you can fix this. Sneaky, here's my advice. Don't stream your matches. Stop talking while you're playing.
Oh my God.
But it's for the art. It's for the art. The art is more important.
It's not the clock. It's you.
Hey, my fantasy bracket, I need you to win your game, so my completely absurd fantasy bracket comes true, where you beat me in the grand finals because I misclick.
I thought
Oh,
you
and if
updated it
it's-
so now that you beat me in the grand finals.
Oh no, actually I updated it so like I lose this game 1 and then it's you versus Mohinder or something like that. So
Whoa.
yeah, I did some sort of new absurd bracket, so somebody's got to have those, right?
Yeah, like honestly, I think I have a chance, maybe, of beating Loveless. I do not think I have a chance in hell of beating Math, but we'll see. Math Lord, you scare me. You're my hard counter in this game because like the way you play just so destroys the way I play. I want chaos, and you're like, nope, very ordered, calculated.
I'm like, I haven't lost to you yet in Test Your Metal. Like in that one bracket on like Oblivion, you beat everybody else, and including like Shu or whatever, but you lost to me only.
Yes, I did win the bracket though, because you lost to Loveless and Alsame. But I did not beat you directly. Oh, wait, no. Wharf. I beat you in that one Wharf game.
Oh yeah, with the Wolf are lethal.
Master of Math was trying to forget that match.
I still believe in you, Sneaky. Just don't stream your games.
You
Yeah,
can take
such a
them, just do it properly.
But I must record it. It's for the art. It's for the art.
It's for the people.
The world
can
must
just
see the
pretend it
match in
was
the most
live
fun
later.
format.
Yeah, for some.
Yeah, pre-record it, and then just it'd be a great exercise in pretending or in like acting. Oh wow,
No, I did
that was a
pre-record.
mistake.
What is he doing?
I did
How will this
pre-record
turn
last
out?
time. I wasn't streaming it.
Well, I'm just getting smashed GG.
Yeah, it's the same.
So, I think we sort of got off topic there. So we have TFJ versus Burke, which we already talked about. Burke is
AWST is done, I think.
disqualified. Yeah,
Yeah.
SneakyDragon versus Loveless. Yeah. So let's go
Okay.
to
GMT?
GMT.
All right.
Let's go in order.
There's Sechun and Alsame.
I'm
That's
leading
even
Alsame.
Is
I'm
anyone
also-
brave enough to
I'm
say
also
Sedge is going to
thinking
win?
Alsame.
Oh, shouldn't we do predictions at the same time? For
We're doing
AWST?
predictions.
Yeah.
These games haven't
No one
happened yet.
predicted- Yeah, but predict for AWST. Or should we
Wait.
do it in like a separate section?
Oh, you wanna do a round
Didn't
table
we
where
just
we
say Loveless was gonna take
Yeah, I think
it,
we all
but-
pretty much agreed that Loveless. I think Sneaky will take one game off.
I think
But I
Loveless
think
is the
Loveless-
favorite, but I believe Sneaky can take it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's fair. I think
Yeah.
Loveless is the favorite, and I'm the sneaky in this situation.
Wow, so SneakyDragon
Okay.
even thinks he's not going to win. Wow.
Alright, we'll
I'm
see.
confident in my skills in an acing game, but on the clock, I think Loveless is the better player. But we'll see. We'll see
Just
if I've
pretend
gotten
it's-
good enough.
Pretend it's async, just with like faster.
Yeah, like you
Or
only have
pretend
pretend you
it's
combine
async,
the
but
days.
on a
like,
clock.
The days become minutes. The days become minutes. Like instead of playing a move every day, you play a move every minute.
All right, so I'll just take 30 minutes turn one and have the best turn one ever, and then lose turn two.
Yeah.
Great plan.
I mean, you could just
got
end
this.
turn spam at the end of there, and you'd probably win. No.
Ugh.
Okay, so let's go on to that's sort of that. Obviously, so as we said, the first game is a disqualify.
Let's go
A lot of
GMT,
us
let's go
put
GMT.
Loveless as the favorite. So now we should be looking at. I gotta stop saying GMTs.
Yeah.
So
it's
Sechun
Sechun.
versus Alsame.
Yeah, my money's on Alsame, but
Alsame.
it's
Alsame.
Anyone that doesn't say Alsame doesn't really know the players. It's that simple.
Shots
Alsame is
fired.
a clear favorite.
Shots fired.
thing
Yeah,
is
I don't
that,
care. I don't care. Alsame in this case is the clear favorite.
I think-
it's
yeah,
I think-
before we saw like the tie breaks, I would have I would still have said Alsame, but like I would have argued a bit more that
Edged a
Sedge
bit.
can take it. But the way he's been playing in the tie breaks, I just feel like it's not going to be good enough.
Oh, you
Yeah,
can't open
Sedge-
like that.
Sedge plays a bit shaky. Like some of his openings are a bit sketchy, but like overall as a player, he's not very consistent. Like you can look at Test Your Metal, and he really doesn't have very good performances because when he plays a lot of games, he might go like 50% or in like a lower bracket or like 30% sometimes, and sometimes he'll go like 70-80% wins. But he doesn't have that consistency. So
yeah.
like maybe he'll take one game, but he doesn't have that kind of consistent openings, consistent like middle game performance, consistent like safety with commander, and like consistently playing at a high level.
Like
Sounds like
everybody
me,
in the
honestly.
top 8, everybody's got their superpower, right? Like
Yeah.
Shu is the fast player, Math is the super mechanics player. Everybody's got that thing they're really good at. Sedge is the aggressive player. Alsame is the creative player. But he's not just the creative player, he also plays the game on so many levels, like front switching, he's got that. Odd unit choices, he's got that down. He can make almost any strategy or system work. Formations, attack, defense. He's the creative player and is really good at every part of the game.
I think his main weakness is he plays a bit slow.
I
Yeah,
think his
that's
main
been a-
weakness is not practicing enough.
Or maybe Alsame is maybe tunnel vision sometimes. But like Alsame is known for Alsame loves to go for HQ lethals. At least in all the test terminal games I played against him, he almost always goes for HQ.
Like, he likes to go for
I can confirm that too.
I think, yeah, he likes the big plays, even if they carry some risk. But they can take a lot of time, and you have to know when to filter, when to actually calculate, and when to say, like, it's not worth it.
Yeah. Or you have to sometimes you as your opponent, you sometimes have to say, okay, is it actually a threat to my HQ, or I can just ignore it.
Now, I will say we do have in the Twitch chat right now. We do have Zested thinks Sedgehun will win, and Gimbal thinks that Sedge can take a game off of Alsame. And I honestly think there is a. I can agree with Gimbal on this, that I think that Sedgehun can and probably will take a game off of Alsame, and I think it is possible for Sedgehun to beat Alsame, especially if
Sedge gets to execute his game plan, then yeah, I don't think Alsame could beat him.
I don't think this is going to be one-sided. I would put my favor in Alsame's, I'll throw my coins in that bucket, but I do not think that this is like a 100% chance. I'd say I'd give him I'd put like a 70-30.
If
this
come on,
like not this not
Sedge Ditto. I think there's very good chance this is Sedge Ditto. That's kind of a very Alsame thing to do.
Oh yeah, right.
Well, if this were a few months ago, no disrespect to Sedge, but I think it would have been almost all of us would have been like, yeah, we're 95% certain Alsame will win, but Sedge has just really improved in this game.
Yeah, taking into account what happened 6 months ago is irrelevant, right?
Yeah. But just to show. But Sedge versus Sedge, that'd be very interesting to see. But I guess it also depends on what maps they play, because I don't know if Sedge has maps that he prefers or maps that Alsame doesn't like. I don't know.
I hope Sedge takes at least a game off of Alsame, but I think Sedge can only win against Alsame in two situations. Either Alsame doesn't prepare for the maps, or Sedge shows up with something that Alsame doesn't know, and puts him off balance and wins off of it. But if they play straight up games, I think Alsame is the clear winner there.
I think in all cases we want to see a 2-1. We don't want to see a 2-0 because that means 2-1 means more games.
Yeah, more games is more tense because it means that if you get a 2-1, it means that you're a 1-1. So the last game is winner take all.
All about the content.
So it's 50-50, right? People.
I'd say it's like 51-49. Like Alsame has 51% chance of winning.
Okay.
I would be more like
people are edging a lot. I'm going 80-20.
I'll go 90-10.
Oh,
70-30.
Like
70-30.
out of 10 games, I expect Sedge to win 1 or 2 games.
I go 69-30 with 1% of a timer draw.
Draws. They can disconnect or something.
It's true.
True. When the server goes down.
Let's move on to the next.
Let's go to the next one.
Math versus Vito.
Yeah, I'd say Math has this because I play Vito a lot. I know how good he is, but I think Math is just a tiny bit better.
A tiny bit.
Well, I mean, it's that tiny bit.
I'm gonna say shots fired.
I think I'll do well. Like I was taking like games off Vito even when I just joined and he was in the Groove of War 3 finals.
Yeah.
No disrespect meant to Vito, but
yeah.
And it was a casual
I'm gonna
game,
disrespect Groove of War 3 a lot now by just saying that the level of play was clearly way lower than it is right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so winning Groove of War 3 means nothing.
I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, there were so many things that happened. Like Zeronix dropped out, Doc dropped out midway. I
misclicked in one of my games and didn't win because because that's what happened.
Yeah,
I'm gonna predict against Vito that I win comfortably, and I predict at least one Elodie appearance.
That sounds reasonable.
You're not banning Elodie,
right?
No way.
I'm not gonna ban Elodie.
No way.
If not, Math will play Elodie just to BM. Come on.
Well, it depends.
Well, I expect Math can possibly purposefully choose a map on which LOD is somewhat decent, so that Vito will pick LOD.
Is this a different Master of Math that we're talking about?
Or he'll pick a
Because
map
that's
where, like,
not
every-
happening, right?
or
This
he'll
will
pick
be
an
a very straightforward, solid game into a easy 2-0 win.
Yeah, easy.
I'm not gonna
2-0 win.
edge my bets here.
Finish with 29 minutes.
Okay.
With 29 minutes left.
Well, I guess it depends on the maps too. Because I mean, like, I know Vito, like, if you pick like an Emmerich map, you let Vito pick Emmerich.
I'll probably just ban Emmerich because I'm not gonna use him. And
Yeah.
I'll just see Wolfar
This is
mirrors
right.
everywhere.
I'll just put it
No,
like
you'll never see Wolfar mirrors against Vito because Vito absolutely hates playing against Wolfar, so he always bans him.
But I'll put it in other terms that might make it simpler why I'm talking like this. I think Master of Math is a better player than Alsame, and I think Sedge is a better player than Vito. So I think this is a bigger mismatch than the other match.
Yeah,
The thing is,
I'd agree
Vito,
with that,
like-
especially given current results.
Like,
Other
quite
than maybe,
frankly,
like, playing like an Emmerich Ditto, I'm not really concerned about like playing any matchup against him. Like against Alsame, I don't really want to play with his commanders, but like against Vito, I'm not really concerned about anyone. And it was a similar kind of thing for Sejan, which is why I even considered not banning Sedge.
like personally, I think the only player who really would be scary against Math Lord is, under all circumstances, maybe is Alsame, just because Alsame has that level of mechanics and weird things to both keep up with Math's mechanics and throw Math off balance. I think like there are a few players who can. Shu has got mechanics, but nothing like crazy that Math wouldn't expect. I feel like Math is the best mechanics player. That's just my
I
opinion,
don't know.
completely subjective.
I don't know what mechanics is supposed to mean, but like I would say that
Yeah.
Shu is probably my toughest opponent, and then like in a real time setting, it's probably then Loveless and then Alsame. Normally, I'd probably put like Alsame second instead of Loveless, but I think in a real time setting, like the fact that I can play good moves fast and Alsame's a little bit slow, kind of gives me a bit of a more edge against him. While Loveless, he can play pretty good, pretty fast, so it's more difficult.
That's true.
Which is why I'm annoyed I have to play him for top 8 most likely if he beats Sneaky. So hopefully Sneaky
You
wins.
can assume that. It's okay. You can assume that for now.
Well, like I'm assuming worst case scenario. So
Sneaky, you can take him. You gotta believe.
No, that's true. The timer is a pretty big component. Like the timer is what scares me about Loveless, and I can see how the timer might actually make you more confident against Alsame because they are kind of slow. I was just thinking like playstyle personality matchups. I think Alsame would be kind of your threat. But yeah, timer.
I think
But, like,
Alsame isn't practicing
what do you
enough to
mean
be a
by
threat to
mechanics?
Master.
I don't
So,
like.
like-
Are we all Mercia now and we're healing? Like
Sneaky, do you care to define
That's a
mechanics
different
in this
mechanic.
context?
That's
Sure,
a
so,
color
like-
mechanic.
With mechanics, I mean like really small micro level play. Like you have a couple units on this side of the map, move them in this formation, take that. They
Oh.
can't be counterattacked this way. Kind of like a combination of really turn by turn
yeah, I know.
victories.
Okay.
Okay. Personally, I
So
usually
basically-
define mechanics as a set of skills
So tactics.
that is map independent and strategy independent. So understanding good formations, understanding what kinds of units counter which kinds of units. When you have
Maybe just
certain
call
kinds of
it the-
formations, understanding what kinds of formations counter other formations, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Just call
yeah,
it like the small details.
Let's just say that Math is really good at the game. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
I think that's
just a little.
Yeah, he's slightly better than the average player. Let's very small slightly.
On a good day, if it's sunny outside, I can be the average player.
Yeah. If you
Yeah,
had the
and-
right cereal for breakfast, there's a lot of details, but actually even if you don't have the right cereal in the morning, Gimble's calling it fundamentals.
Okay,
If you don't eat cereal, then you never have to eat the right cereal.
guys, let's go ESD.
Yeah, off topic.
Actually-
so,
Before we go to
Last thing
EST,
I'll say,
honestly,
like-
it's been about an hour, and I think might be a good time to take a
No,
short break.
that's the point.
No?
Let's do EST, and it has
Yeah,
been,
EST
we didn't
EST
start
will
on
be
the
s-
clock. Let's
Yeah, we'll
just
do
do
EST, maybe PST, and then
Yeah,
Yeah, I
let's
think EST.
Okay.
we'll get this
Okay,
over with,
EST.
so we'll do a
Let's-
clean cut before the commander's talk starts.
Yeah, because that will be long.
How
Well,
about we be less tangent?
yeah, that'll
Oh,
be
that's
more
not
tangents.
happening.
Oh,
That's
more
not
tangents.
happening.
All right, moving
More
on, moving on.
tangents.
Moving on. Okay, the next one is Delhi Score versus Zested.
All right, Delhi Score. All right,
Delhi-
Zesty,
yeah.
I actually
Delhi
don't know enough, so I can't comment about that.
Delhi Score is a very solid player.
I'm gonna
so...
go Deliscore, but Deliscore has been playing slow, so
Yeah.
that might be a problem for him. We'll see.
Yeah, if Deliscore loses, time is why.
Yeah, but if that's removed, then I honestly don't see Zested even taking off a game off Deliscore.
Okay, we're all in
Zested's in
agreement.
chat
No
right now.
tangents.
Okay.
Deliscore is a better
Sorry.
player, but he plays slow, so he might
Sorry,
lose on
Zested.
time.
Jeez, guys. I'm sorry, Zestin. I think there's a chance you can win, but Deliscore is
Very good.
is,
yeah.
is very good.
Yeah.
It's hard to really rate players that like are newer and we haven't seen
Yeah.
much of, especially since like EST with like TimeKey going out early.
Yeah.
It kind of doesn't have that same testing opposition. So like
Yeah, I
with
screwed up the brackets.
TFJ, we know okay he beat SneakyDragon, so he's got some minimum level, and with
Zestin?
with Captain Rainbow, like he beat Ash and he had like a decent performance versus me. So with Zested it's a bit harder because the
Yeah.
level of play in EST
Yeah,
is
there's,
a bit lower.
Yeah,
And
there's
he's
a guy
just
D-
new to the scene.
Yeah, and there was a guy who DQ'd every single game in EST, which screwed up the brackets even further.
Okay.
But I
So
think
that's
that one's
done?
Yeah.
That's
there's
done,
not-
Mohinder?
yeah.
Mohinder
Mohinder versus CMA. I'd go with Mohinder on that.
I have to go with
Mo-
Mohinder
Mo-
on this one too.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
Mohinder has been like playing way better than we're used to seeing from like Test Your Mail and stuff in Groove of War.
I don't
Yeah,
think
but that
CMA has the top level experience yet. Like
No.
they were playing
CMA
a lot
played-
of like the lower level brackets of Test Your Metal, but they haven't been playing against those top level players. Well, like Mohinder, maybe he hasn't performed so well in those brackets, but he's had that competition that he keeps playing
Yeah.
against.
Yeah, because CMA is a good player, but he lacks some experience. Like they're, which I think will make a difference when he plays against Mohinder.
Okay.
But I definitely wouldn't count CMA out of this, honestly.
Okay. My money's on Mohinder. I mean, he's been here for a long time.
But
I
it's
remember
true that
Mohinder
Mohinder
from-
isn't playing on a level where we can say it's very clear he'll always win. Because he is playing on a level where he still makes mistakes, and that's definitely the space where in Wargroove you actually kind of lose games out of nowhere. Because you just place your commander poorly in an attack and suddenly you just die. So I think CMA definitely can take games off of Mohinder. I just think Mohinder is playing better overall.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I agree with that. Like Mohinder has been like quite consistent in his games.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I-
except,
I think his consistency is a lot due to the level of competition that he has in front of him.
Yeah, but like even if you're not like take Shu for example, he did like make a big mistake against I Will Be a
KillsauceS.
Ninja.
Yeah,
and
but
KillsauceS.
that was
Well,
Shu pulling a
was like,
time
I
key on
will
his own
be-
level, right?
Yeah, but that's the point. It's like Mohinder is not the type of person that will pull a time key.
Oh no, he'll just do small mistakes that will keep
Yeah,
adding
that
up.
like add up.
Like
Yeah,
I'm
but-
not talking about Mohinder pulling a time key. I'm talking about like you will make mistakes every once in a while.
Well,
Yeah, but
he is,
they'll be
like,
small ones. So, like,
consistently at his pretty good level.
Yeah, of course. I'm just saying that there is a situation where CMA is playing out of his mind and on one of his best days, and he just keeps taking advantage of those small wins, and he can take a game.
I don't think CMA has to play out of his mind, but he just has to kind of really show that he's up to that level, which so far we haven't seen it from him yet. But we could very well see it.
I think we're pretty much all in.
yeah, for
Uh,
Mohinder.
in agreement here
Yeah,
that
everyone thinks Mohinder is taking this. That was not my argument at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you just said he might have a chance.
Yeah, I still think that CMA has a chance.
I think this is one of the closer matches we've been talking about till now.
Yeah.
But either the only other that I think is also closer is the Loveless Sneaky. Other
And
than
maybe
that,
Alsami Central.
the other matches I don't think will be close.
Well,
But
wait.
this
Killsauce
one will.
What about the next
Whoa,
one?
whoa, whoa, whoa. The
Killsauce
next
and
one,
Faded.
yeah.
Killsauce Faded Sun.
This
Yeah,
one
that's
is
gonna be
like
a close one.
50-50. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a 50.
Killsauce
this is a-
Faded. Faded already
this-
won, so I'm going with Faded.
Yeah, this
I'm
is a
gonna-
50-50.
Okay.
50
I'm gonna go with
but,
Killsauce, 'cause, like-
Killsauce's wife beat Faded and stuff like that.
It's a triangle. It's a triangle. It's a weapon triangle. Swords beat axe.
Yeah,
axe beats
last time he just
lances.
used an axe slayer lance or whatever. So you know it was.
It's a weapon triangle. Killsauce's gonna lose.
Yeah.
Killsauce, but we're not
But I don't
seeing
know.
Killsauce because he doesn't have a camera in front of him. So if Killsauce lets his wife play, then he'll win.
That's true.
I mean, we might as well just get Gimbal to do a coin flip to see who wins. That's a prediction.
Oh my god.
No, but we won't see the result if he does that.
Okay.
Plus, like
alright.
maybe do we really want Gimbal to lose all his coins? Like, he already lost one. Maybe he'll go broke.
Well,
Okay.
so I mean, yeah, in the next game, Faded Sun versus Killsauce, I think I can take it again. I still
Yeah,
want to put a lot
definitely.
of my blame on, on me being unprepared for that opening, but I've definitely played a lot more on all these maps now, so I feel like I'm going to be a little bit more prepared. I will
You can always-
say Faded does like test all the maps, so that he does have that sort of natural advantage.
I think I'm gonna give it to Killsauce because I think just from playing against Killsauce, he's been more of an opponent than Faded. And also I like that he's got a more explosive factor attached to him, like he beat Shu. So I think it'd be more interesting if Killsauce advances. So I'm gonna give it to him. But if he gets coaching from his wife, then during the match, then like there's no Faded has no chance.
Dude, that's
It's over
2v1.
from the start.
That's
Yeah,
cheating. I don't know. You can't do that.
That is yeah, right. That's cheating, but I'll just you won't know.
No one will. That's the point.
That's-
She also hasn't
You'll
played
know.
since 1.3. Okay, so I just
That's true. I mean, who knows? I mean, what if we just get like a group of guys for the next one as a group of guys? So on the day that we play, we just have 5 guys lining up. It's like, oh yeah, we should do this and this, and then we go to the grand finals.
I think we would
well,
run out of
with-
time.
With the chess timer, yeah, it's gonna be complicated.
Yeah, because you don't have time.
Especially
That's
because
the-
you're gonna spend 5 minutes on the first opening. Like, no, I want to capture
No,
backs from
No,
the bottom.
you can opening. You can kind of go fast, and then like during the opponent's turn, you can like talk about all that stuff.
I mean, if I was in that group, I would just try to sabotage. But this is a tangent, anyways. Let's.
Yeah, we're getting off topic.
I was about to
That's
stop
true.
you guys.
Yeah, we're getting off topic. So,
let's go. Let's
so
go.
to summarize, PSD is a coin flip. If we don't, it can go either way.
Wait. It was like it's Shu versus who?
No, Shu's already.
Yeah,
did
Shu
his.
already did his, right?
Oh yeah, then that's
Killsauce
done. Yeah,
versus
it's finished.
Faded.
Yeah. It's done.
Yeah,
This
it's a coin
Killsauce
flip.
versus Faded, and I
It's
mean, everybody's fantasy brackets has me losing. So at this point, I just have to prove them wrong. And I will play Dark Mercia versus Faded, and
I think
I'll play Merciful versus him in style on him. How about that?
You know the fantasy brackets have you losing because it's you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you actually win a match as Merciful, that deserves a prize in and of itself.
Oh yeah, if you play Merciful, you're obviously winning. So
Well, I couldn't do it round 1 because of all the DQs, so I'm kind of sad.
Yeah, same. I was totally gonna play Merciful round 1 if it was like a newbie,
I love when people
and
do
then
this.
then I'd become the villain. So
Yeah, I would have told if I had been given the opportunity, then I would have totally did that.
Well,
but
I wasn't gonna play Merciful
I wanted,
versus
but I
Shu
couldn't.
in round
They
2.
didn't
I
let
had
me.
that
I
whole
really
strat
wanted,
to, like,
but they
go
didn't let
Oh,
me.
God.
behind
That
you.
is
Wink,
okay.
wink.
You with Merciful. You would have been the hero of our group.
I mean,
That would have been amazing.
I wonder if
Alright,
I might be able to convince Faded to do a Merciful mirror in one of our matches.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting massively off topic there.
Well,
well,
it's
we're gonna do a break here
yeah,
now.
exactly.
Anyway.
Gonna do
Yeah.
a break after this tangent.
Yeah.
We
All right, and then
never
get
did
ready.
have a tangent.
For the big meaty topic.
Oh wow, yeah, Commanders.
Oh yeah, this will never stop.